David Bruckshaw is a remarkable businessman. From humble beginnings, he conceived and built the hugely successful Superfinish Express franchise. 20 years on, no one is surprised, because paint repairs have always been in his blood. What does it mean to you to be a sixth generation paint repairer?
I've always wanted to paint cars. That's what I was put on this planet for, is to paint cars. Some people know their purpose in life, mine's painting cars. I grew up in a panel shop. From my earliest memories of running around in a panel shop and the smells of the paint and everything that people sort of like don't like, they were my earliest smells, of thinners and paints and this and that and the other.
Mobile paint repairs was your vision at a quality that no one else had been able to do.
There was a gap in the market, and there was sort of like nobody was really looking after the car salesman.
The light bulb moment for David came when he realised the real problem for car yards was the time and expense of taking cars off-site to have them repaired in a panel shop. He knew if he could deliver the same solution on-site via mobile paint repairs, he'd be on a winner. And he was right.
I was taking my experience from being in a high-end quality panel and paint shop, shrinking it down and doing it mobile.
So how exciting was it when the penny dropped and you saw that gap in the market, that niche, that you could go forward and build a business?
It was like a bang, a light went off in my head. I could do the quality that they couldn't ever pick a fault with, and I could do it in a really tight time frame. It was exciting. I loved it. I loved being under that pressure.
So the first step was you proving that it worked. You got into a van, you proved the model, started and ran a successful business on your own.
Yes, I did that for about 2 years, and I probably got about 100 doors slammed in my face to say that you can't do that.
How important was proving them wrong as a motivation for you?
Oh, that was everything. That was everything. I loved to prove them wrong, that I could do it under pressure.
David knew to sustainably grow the business, he had to ensure the highest quality of work on every single job. And through franchising, every operator is committed to delivering the highest quality work because it's their business.
Franchising was the answer. You had to own the business to care about it as much as what I did. Employees cared, but not cared deeply. You could get them to care, 80%. But I wanted that 100% do what it takes to get it done. And that's why I franchised.
And so getting to the detail of what you actually do, the first thing is you provide the franchisees with world-class, cutting-edge, leading technology to do their job.
We can't be the same as everybody else. I mean, there's a million people out there painting cars. We have to lift the bar.
So David, in the back of this is all you need to do a paint repair.
Everything that you need is in the back of here. Your computer, your printer, your dustless sanding, all your tinters and everything to make up, 100,000 different colours for any type of car that you want to make up. And there's all our waterborne paints, Damien. Now, nobody's ever been able to perfect a waterborne system to do mobile outside and achieve great results. Now, over here, this is where all your spray guns and everything are kept, but these are actually HVLP. So that means that you have a large volume of air only running at 6 psi. We don't have those big clouds of overspray.
What's the computer for?
The computer, that gives you all that, so you can look up the paint code on the car, and that gives you access to about 100,000 different colours. The boys do their invoicing on there. They can either email it direct to the customer, or it prints out there with the printer and they can hand the customer in or email it. It's up to them. Boys here in Queensland can talk to the boys in Western Australia live, and they can look up how they're going compared to the rest of the network with income.
Why is it so important that you stay ahead of the pack from a technology point of view?
Well, we always have to be the best, Damien. I mean, why be second best? I want to be the best.
But simply having the best technology is not enough for David. He wants to be the best in everything he does. And when it came to franchising, he decided to challenge the way things were done. Not all franchises are successful, and you decided when you became a franchisor that you wanted to think like a franchisee.
I knew that I could make money out of franchising. It was never ever doubt in my mind that I could make money out of it. But I wanted other people to make money out of it.
And the first franchise agreement You wrote it yourself.
I went round and talked to all these franchisees and I said, well, show me your agreement. And they were all written, the franchisor says, you're not allowed to do this, you're not allowed to do that. And I thought, well, they've got no freedom. They've got absolutely no freedom. They're slaves to the franchise system. And I thought, I've got to sort of like make it the other way. So the franchisees feel empowered that they've got some say in the running of their franchise system. So I deliberately didn't put renewal costs in my franchise system. I deliberately didn't put you had to buy your materials off me. You had the option to buy it wherever else. If you could get it for a better price anywhere else, you could go there and buy the materials from wherever you like.
And do they?
No, they don't. No, they buy it from me because I make sure that I buy the stuff in bulk discounts and pass the discounts on to them. It's important that I drive their bottom line by them getting the materials for the right price. I always want them to know that they've got the freedom to buy it from somewhere else.
And so you've got franchisees working on Lamborghinis worth more than $1 million.
We've got guys that are working on Lamborghinis, Ferraris, Audis, brand new Audis, brand new Mercedes-Benz and everything like that, and they can match the manufacturer's warranty. Motivation
is so important, and in your industry you stand out as a success story. How important is it to keep an eye on that bigger picture?
I came from a very poor family, but I didn't know any different. We were brought up with a lot of love, but no money. I mean, I never had shoes till I was about 8 years old. I never wanted to go and have an empty cupboard. Never wanted to be able not to afford to go on holidays. Never be able to afford to not join the team because we couldn't afford the equipment. I never wanted that. So yeah, I was pretty driven to be successful for that reason.
So what have we got here?
This is actually, Damien, this is a '68 Dodge Charger. The same car as what the Dukes of Hazzard had, but that's why I painted it green. So it wasn't like the Dukes of Hazzard car. But it's an American muscle car. My plan for this car, Damien, was to take it round to car shows and show people the quality of workmanship that we can do that's up there with the best in the world. And people think because we touch up cars, and that's what we do, touching up cars pays the rent. This is what we can really do if we want to.
So all the hard work, all the business success, in the end, what fires you up still is you're a revhead. You love cars.
Absolutely. Yep. Always have, always will. Love cars, and they got to be shiny. Doesn't matter how good and fast they go and how loud it is, it's got to be shiny. This isn't work, this is love. This is what I love to do, paint cars.
It's a love of painting cars that's found its way to a 7th generation of Bruckshaws.
It's exciting that my son really wants to paint cars.
Well, I used to come in on my school holidays when I was a kid. I'd come in from anywhere from about 6 years old and I'd help Dad put ball bearings in paint bottles and stuff.
You're interested in the painting, but you're interested in more than that. They call you the little professor. You like to get to how the chemistry and the physical properties of the paint actually work.
That stuff's always interested me from a kid, even without the painting side of things. So when it came to painting, I just got that passion and it just evolved, How
much did you learn about business from your dad?
He's taught me a lot about business ever since I could walk, really. Once I could understand what he was talking about, I really sort of started learning a lot.
Sharing knowledge is David's passion. New franchisees receive market-leading training and support.
They have 3 weeks intensive at head office, and then they have 2 weeks us holding their hand in the field. Before they leave head office, they have to do a job on an expensive car from start to finish. They have to have that confidence before they leave.
The majority of the guys that come in have no painting experience whatsoever. Some guys came from a painting background, but the guys that have no experience whatsoever, we get them in and we teach them everything from scratch. We sort of make them become painters. I take a lot of pride in doing that too, because you can see people evolve from not knowing anything to becoming really high quality spray painters.
So once they're trained up and ready to start in business, there's 2 things you help them with in those early days. First of all, guaranteed revenue stream. And secondly, a mentoring program to help them get started.
So they've trained for 3 weeks. They've got one of my staff with them for 2 weeks, an experienced staff member for 2 weeks, and then they're on their own and they get 5 weeks guaranteed income so they can just focus on doing the job properly. They've always got a buddy that helps them, because that's a very delicate phase starting off in business for yourself. You usually go down before you go up.
They have to be more than just good at painting cars. They've got to be good at business. But you take care of that for them.
I thought, if I can develop a system that they just paint the cars, write out the invoice, give it to the whoever, give it to the girls in the office and disappear and paint another car, and they never have to think about it again, and the money comes into their account and they don't have to do anything, wouldn't that be good? And that's why I designed it the way I did, because I hated that side of the business. We chase the accounts. They do the job, they hand in the invoice, and they get paid before we get paid.
One of the really important things is that sense of camaraderie, and you really foster that sense of friendship. And when they get together, these guys are all mates.
I learnt that lesson off the guy that owns Subway. He said, you can spend a fortune getting the world's best speakers to a conference, but if you can get franchisees to talk to each other and interact with each other, that's gold.
So this is a real family business. Franchisees become friends, family friends. They talk on the phone, they stay at each other's houses when they travel, and when they catch up at conference, it's a great family atmosphere.
Yeah, and it's important. You know, I love the wives to come, I love the kids to come, I want the families to come to conferences. I love that.
And how important is it to have fun along the way?
That's all that matters. Have fun. If you have fun, it gets done and you can make some money doing it.
So what about the future? Where do you hope Superfinish Express can go?
Well, it's important that I go and study other franchise systems and look at the best franchise systems in the world, and that I overtake them. And I want to sort of be better than any other franchise system. I want to be the best franchise system in the world, period.
David Bruckshaw is a true business leader, but what's remarkable about his story is that his success is completely reliant on him helping others achieve success they didn't know was possible. Superfinish Express is more than a mobile paint repair business. It's an opportunity for others, and it's that opportunity that David will be forever passionate about.
I want to improve people's lives. I want them to make money. I know paint, I know how to paint cars, and I've made good money at it, and I want other people to be able to do what I've done.